What's going on, you guys? Kenny Harrelson and Silent Fan 85. Welcome to another vlog. This will be my second one for the day. Nothing new. Um, I've been doing some thinking, and I was inspired a bit by. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie 40 Days, 40 Nights. Now, this is just a movie, but 2002, I want to say. Matt, one of the main characters, he is. He's he's basically taken a vow of abstinence for a while because he's this very attractive guy. He's this very attractive character that can easily get laid, just because he has that appeal. I can't say the same for myself, but I have self confidence and I know that I can be a very sexy guy when I want to be. But there are guys like that in the world, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't envy them because they, from a biological standpoint, they have very easy time finding mates, finding girls to spend time with, to put it simply. And but there's a spot in the movie where he kind of has an awakening. And again, it's just a movie; it's purely scripted, but it does happen in real life. There are points in life where you have an awakening, where you have a realization about things that affect you negatively. And he has this realization of that he gets into these relationships, he gets into these connections where it's take, 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 and there's hardly anything given. Although one of the characters, comes at him with, "Ah, you pig, I gave you a copy of the Bridges of Madison County." And he just comes at her like, that was the biggest piece of garbage I've ever read. It was a pretty epic moment. But back to the point is that there's something to be said in that. There are people, especially of the opposite sex, whether you're male or female, that will take, take, take. And I've experienced that in my own life. I won't go into details or particulars, but I've experienced that in my own life. And there's truth in that, but there's also opposite truth. There are people that will give, give, give. And what's funny on both accounts is that you've got to learn yourself and you've got to decide, are you going to be that person? On the side of take, 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 straight up, if you're like that, you're a horrible person. For all intents and purposes, you realize that you're okay with being that horrible person. You may try to fight it every so often, but if you are one of the ones that manipulate people like that, you are a straight up horrible person. And it's honestly, for a lot of people, it's pretty easy to hide that. Even when you realize it. For some, it's not so easy because they'll do it out of pure habit, and eventually, you catch them for who they are. On the other side of it, the people that give, 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 they, much like on the take, take, take side, they don't realize it sometimes. And they also don't realize that when you give, 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 you give a lot. And most of the time, you don't get enough back. You need to get something back in order to, in my opinion, remain stable. Emotionally, financially, whatever it may be. In a relationship, in a friendship, in life, you've got to take something for yourself. You don't necessarily have to go overboard and take everything back. Don't do like a 180 and just say, well, I've done this for the world. I deserve this. I deserve more and more. That happens. But in my experience, there needs to be a certain amount that you need for yourself. You can't give everything and expect to get nothing in certain parts of life. It's not healthy. But there are very giving people. that are taken advantage of, that are manipulated, that are taken for a ride so many times, and they have such good hearts, and this world eats them alive. And it honestly, it saddens me to know that the world is like that, that there are people out there that will take advantage, that realize who they are, they realize how horrible of a person they are, but they can't stop. They can't stop. It's like a disease. And in a lot of ways, it's a disease on humanity, but it's also a part of humanity. And a lot of people justify it with, well, it's just the way the world works. You got to watch out for yourself. While there may be truth in that, are we any better of a people if we don't try to fix it? You know, if you don't try to fix your own life, if you don't try to better yourself in ways, or are you just going to continually be that person that takes, and totally abuses the people that give everything, that give, if I'm going with a pattern here. So I mainly wanted to make this vlog because I've been in this situation myself. I'm a very giving person. I've given a lot, and there's been a lot of times where I didn't get what I needed back. And in certain situations in life, that one-sidedness, that's not reciprocal, it can drain you to such an extent that you wonder why even try, why even attempt to do good things, why even attempt to help people, why even attempt to make friends, why even attempt to have a social life, you know, if people are just going to take advantage of you, if you're just going to be manipulated left and right, because there is a certain naivete about you that you don't realize. And you honestly, at least on my part, there are times in my life I've been a horrible judge of character for people. And I willfully, even if I saw it with time, I still kept going and I still kept associating with people like that. So I don't know, I guess honestly the whole message of this thing that I would give advice to somebody is know your limits. If you make the decision to be a horrible person, that's on you. And you may be the type of person that doesn't care. On the other side of it, if you're the kind of person that gives a lot and you're willing to do so, you're very self-sacrificing. Try to be a little bit more selfish. Try to be a little bit more greedy with your own stuff, with your own spirit, with your own mentality, because it does eventually dry you up. And you have a lot more to give this world than whatever is taking so much from you and giving nothing back. You are worth so much more than what these people will lead you on to believe. You have a lot more to give, and you are worth everything you give and everything that you should receive back. And it's the best to remember that, because this world will eat you alive. But again, just some personal advice. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Remember, you're awesome. Never let the world tell you otherwise. See ya.